Hello guys, and welcome to another discussion video for One Piece Burning Blood. My name is Silvokiji, and it's TheZoneGamingGo. So you're probably looking at the title here, dealing with the meta, and you probably saw the description, or not the description, the title of the actual video saying dealing with the meta. But what exactly is Silvokiji going to teach me? Is he really going to teach me how to deal with the meta? Not exactly. I'm going to teach you what you're going to need to watch out for when you're going up against the meta. I mean, in most cases it is going to be kind of dealing with the meta, but I'm not going to give straight strategies on how to beat certain characters. That's impossible. The thing that makes One Piece Burning Blood a very difficult game to make a tier list on, as well as a strategy on how to beat certain characters, is because each character has a lot they can do, or like work with. Like, especially if you play as people like Boa Hancock. I talk about Boa Hancock a lot, where she has like 3 different types of combos she can do. And you go to Gecko Mariah, you talk about there's 2 different geckos you can be. You can be a longest Gecko Mariah, or can you be trying to get the poison with his Shadow Take move, Gecko Mariah. So there's different versions of the characters. Same thing is, like, I see this with Poke and Tournament as well. It's really cool how it works. So making a tier setting and making a meta is really difficult. But of course, just like all other fighting games in existence, people found a way. Okay, so there is a meta in Burning Blood, and it, like I said, it is powerful, but the meta isn't all that strong because there's so many different things you can do with each character. You don't need to rely on it. And I'm gonna go through each of the characters in the meta, and we're gonna pick out the strengths and weaknesses of those characters, what they can do, and we'll give you some more information so that way you know why they're in meta, and that way you can figure out for yourself on how you're going to deal with them using the information I'm telling you. So next slide. These are the top 5 fighters you will definitely encounter in the meta. That I looks like an L. I don't know if I did it on purpose or that's just the way. That's stupid. Whatever. Okay. So these are general meta rules of how a character's in the meta. The general meta rules are as follows. 1. The character must be picked continuously. A lot. And you probably can name a couple of characters on the top of your head from that one description that I named. Number 2. This character can be undisputed. And when I mean undisputed, I mean when a person decides to pick another character, they go straight into them. If they're losing in a first to 5, first to 10, they go straight to the meta. Some players will pick the meta early on, but others will like, I'm going to play non-meta real quick, and then they just go straight to meta when they start losing. Okay, I do that sometimes. I'm guilty of that. Every other fighter, most players in existence do that. Street Fighter, Tekken, all those games, everybody does it. It just happens, okay? You got some people that will stick to non-meta. Now, something else I should mention too, the thing that makes the meta in Burning Blood different than other games is that despite the character being in meta, they're not overpowered. And I know a lot of people are going to argue with me with that. And what I mean by not overpowered is like, because you have a team of 3 here, right? So if a 2,000 point character is not in the meta, it doesn't mean they suck, okay? Because you're looking at the 2,000 point character. He's a 1,000 point deficit of a 3,000 point character. There's going to be some stuff that he can't do, and that is how you have support to fill in the gaps to kind of help him out. If you're playing with a team with all 3,000 characters, you're playing with all these choices. You can't hate on another player for playing with all 2,000 point characters and having support, and you're saying, oh, you're only winning because of support. No, he's winning because he's playing the match. He's playing the game. You're picking a 2,000 point character not just because you want to play as them or can play as them, but also so you can actually pick support to go up against those 3,000 point characters. The reason the 3,000 point characters are most characters in the meta of 3K is because of that reason. Next slide here. The roles of Silvokiji. Now, before we actually get into the characters, I got to explain to you my roles in One Piece Burning Blood and what I believe. I think I spelled assistance right or wrong. Wrong, right, maybe. We'll look into it later. Okay, so first role, Battery. You probably heard of it in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, characters that deal damage and fight without the assistance of other characters are Burning Gauge. Characters like this can be Enel, Perona, characters that don't rely on the constant Unity chain combination and switching out. Neoka Robin fits in this category. Most characters that are 2,000 points fit as Battery. Damage. Characters that deal great damage with the use of combos and Burning Gauge. I'm pretty sure a lot of characters popped in your mind when I read that sentence. You got Soba, you got Luffy 3K, Whitebeard, possibly even... You know what? That's not even a choice. I'm not even going to name them. Rushdown. Characters that pursue foes with great speed. Doesn't mean they don't do a lot of damage. It just means they don't rely on combos that much. And you got Marco in this category. You have Koala in this category. Hard hitter. Characters that deal great damage with little effort but require careful actions. These are probably one of the most least played characters out of the entire game. You got Jozo, Burgies, Kid. Who else is a hard hitter? Sengoku. Those hard hitting characters. Now you have Keep Away. Characters that deal damage from afar. Doflamingo. Enel fits in this category as well. Perona also fits in this category, strangely enough. So, some of these characters do have multiple roles. Some of these characters have one. But for the sake of, not even getting into it, every character that I will name in the meta, I will only name their primary role in what I have. And these are the roles of Silvokiji. It means I'm the one who built this. I built the roles. I built an entire guide for Burning Blood and gave it to a lot of my friends here. And this is a piece of that guide. So you can go ahead and look at that and kind of go in when you're actually building a team or what you're trying to figure out there. I'm pretty sure if you actually look at other people's teams in Burning Blood, you might be able to figure out which one of these belongs in what category. Next up, we're going to talk about the first character in the meta, Marco. Marco is a speed type character, 3,000 points, and he's a rushdown based character. Now the thing about Marco that basically stands out, actually just a second here. Okay, sorry about that. So, like I said, the thing that makes Marco stand out is that he is a speed 3,000 point character, rushdown character. Now, you're probably wondering in your head, I don't really see Marco all that much. But that's because you don't see him at the right moments. Marco is the go-to, I'm going to hit you first character in this game. You may be looking in the back of your mind and saying, what about Mihawk? Well, he's not here right now. See, the thing about Marco is he's a Logi type character with healing properties. That's one of his strengths here. With the healing property, he's allowed to heal green health with his R1 ability, which is our ability button. Now, in this state, you got to think about it, how much Marco can live from the best injuries. He can get hit by Mihawk's ultimate, which does a ton of damage, leaves a ton of green health, and just heal it back up like it never even touched him. His second strength is that he's a speedy rushdown, and he's often very relentless. Now, the thing about him being a speedy rushdown is that he can go in, use his range attack, knock your opponent in the air. He can also he's on a few characters in the game that can fly. Like, well, Doflamingo can fly, but this guy can fly straight forward. He has a unique that can fly straight forward. His jumping can fly straight forward. He has a lot of moves that go up. He's just all over the place. Marco keeps moving, and that's what makes him a very speedy rushdown and very difficult to work against. Basically, he's a highly pressured character. His third strength, he has a very good incoming and switch. Now, this is only one move I'm actually pointing out here. His jumping unique move, which is it's like a little twister, and he does a little kick in the end. That move is insane when he's coming in, when he's being switched out, or switched in or something like that. That move is so fast. And if your opponent is just getting sick of Marco's continuously high speed, they will get caught. And that's one of the main reasons that he is even a meta character, and one of the main reasons is because he has that very good incoming and switch move. A lot of players will abuse that move, switch him right back out, and bring in somebody else. He's like the equivalent to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where people only played as Psylocke because she had a good assist. Not saying he's bad, but that's just the main reason that he is even in the meta. Weaknesses. He has near zero range options. He has no range attacks. The counter does not count. He has poor damage output, he does not deal a lot of damage, and he takes damage in Logi. Now, the thing about this is that most Logi type characters, or all Logi type characters, when you get rid of getting hit, will soak up the damage. Marco is a little bit different. Due to the fact that he heals green health, if he actually ends up taking damage, taking Logi damage, it will actually be applied, as straight damage. The thing about it, I guess the developers thought that him healing would be stronger than the fact that he actually took damage in his Logi form, because he's actually healing the green health as well as taking damage. So in most cases, that can be really good, but it can also be a downside whenever you're trying to live, especially when you have no HP and you're in a Gum Barrage and you're like, crap, I got caught, and there's nothing I can do about it. Now, the thing is, something here that's I need to fix. Let me fix this real quick. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I'll leave it like that. It's fine. It's cool. But that's basically Marco in a nutshell here. Marco is mainly here just for that very good incoming and very speedy. Like, there's no really big combo game for Marco. I mean, he does have combos. He's just very aggressive. And if you have no HP and you're fighting Marco, you can bet 100% that he's going to pursue the heck out of you, and there is nothing you can do about it because he's just that good in terms of pursuing his target. Okay, we'll go to the next character here. Next character is we have Shanks. Why is Shanks here? I hope no one even asked that question. Shanks is a technical based character, 3,000 points damage. I admit, at the very beginning of One Piece Burning Blood, I had low expectations for this character. I thought he was impossible to play with. I thought it was difficult to use. He is difficult to use. He's not impossible to play with. This character is amazing. The reason Shanks is so good is because he has a very high damage output. He has an extremely long flash counter that will actually beat almost every other character's actually no, not almost. It will beat every other character's flash counter, and he has hockey imbued specials, which like literally he doesn't worry about Logi. This character legit doesn't really have to worry about Logi. If you're worried about someone, oh, this guy got his Logi back, or he's playing the Logi in my attack, just skip into one of your hockey imbued specials, and there you go. The thing that makes Shanks the thing that actually kind of built my opinion about Shanks at the very beginning was because he was slow at confirming, he was execution heavy, and he was difficult under pressure. If you're going to pressure Shanks and he is by himself in a 1v1, he's going to get destroyed. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good you use a special movement. If Shanks is getting pressured in a 1v1 fight against a fast character like Marco that's in the meta, he's going to get his butt kicked. It's been seen lots of times, especially in the latest tournament that we did for 006, where the Shankses were getting defeated by this high level speed, or like high fast speed, whatever, you know what I mean. And they couldn't handle it because their basic attacks are extremely slow. The basic starter for Shanks is like a large swing. It takes a really long time to actually get. You can't interrupt his unique, but once you hit that unique button, you are open. You are open for damage, and you will get hit. Execution heavy, meaning that he does take a lot to actually get around, especially his what's it called? His special unique. I don't know even what it's called. It's called red hair. No, that's his counter. Couldn't even tell you right now. But that move does have a specific timing in the combo, and if you're not ready for it, especially if you're playing online and you have to deal with delay, you're gonna drop it. And that's another main concept too. You gotta understand where you're playing as the meta characters. If you're playing online against a delay, which is gonna happen a lot if you're playing online, then some of this stuff is bound to drop. And it's not your fault. It's just because you gotta get adjusted to the online lag, and there is online lag for everybody. So before we actually get to the next character, one of the other things I wanted to mention about Shanks is that although Shanks is difficult under pressure, he is actually very good at pressuring his opponent, only to a certain extent. Right? When I mean a certain extent, I mean like there's a couple things he can do where he can actually. I didn't know that he can interrupt his unique button into one of his specials. So it's kind of a switch up that he does. Despite being technical, Shanks has a really good range of moves. Next character, A Strong Style. A Strong Style is the most hated character in One Piece Burning Blood. The most hated. He is an all-around character, 2,500 points. I consider him damage mainly. Now the thing that makes him annoying is the fact that this character at +2 can kill you in one combo. Yeah, he can kill you in one combo at +2 power buff. So one of his strengths is that he has insane damage combos. His second strength is Flame Mirror. Flame Mirror is a move that he can do with his special guard. It can break Logi. You can't Logi through it. There's only a couple of characters that can actually go through it. Marco is actually a direct counter to A Strong Style because he can go through it flawlessly. And another thing about Flame Mirror is that it does a lot of pips of hits, so it can be used to make people back away, get away from me. Just easily like keep the game in his favor. It can do a pick me up. Once it does the pick me up, he can do the Flame Fist right afterwards to a Unity Chain, and there's a whole bunch of things he can do with Flame Mirror, and it's just more annoying than Bartholomew's Barrier. His third strength, that he's the fastest Logi in the game. Okay, he might be tied with Smoker, but come on, guys. I mean, yeah, pretty much tied with Smoker. So the thing about being the fastest Logi in the game is that isn't well, one of the fastest Logi in the game, because I forgot there's Marco, is it's a good thing because majority of the other Logis in the game are extremely slow. You got a Koji, Kaziru, Akinu, those are the big three Logi type characters. And then you have Jozo, which is another Logi type character. They're pretty sluggish characters, and to have someone like Ace who can get an easy like snap with Logi, despite he doesn't have Haki, he's one also that probably between him and Smoker and Caesar Clown, the only ones that do not have Haki. I'm not counting Buggy right now, so we won't speak of him. It's very good for him to have that sort of speedy advantage. His weaknesses is that his damage output is extremely poor without ability. Some of his combos rely on him actually boosting his Flame Fist with his ability so it actually comes out faster. If he does not have this ability, it will drop. This is the same weakness he has with the Ace normal variation. He is difficult under pressure. Due to the fact that his guns and his Flame Mirror take a little bit of time to actually happen, he doesn't have those options anymore. So the other Ace had the oh my goodness, please don't, the Commandment. He had the Commandment move, which makes the little circle, which is the defensive tool that he says to get away from me. This Ace does not. So he loses that defensive tool, instead gets Flame Mirror, but if he's getting beat up, if he's getting hit relentlessly in the face, he's not going to have an opportunity to use that Flame Mirror. And when he does pull it out, he's probably going to get hit from behind. Flame Fist is his main damage, and that kind of comes up to the fact with damage output is really poor without ability. If Flame Fist is unavailable to a strong style, he is not going to deal the damage. Okay, not going to deal as much. Now the other Ace, he can deal a good range game, but this Ace, the guns is not a good range thing. I mean, sure, you can do a mix-up with the guns where you can shoot and then you stop, and you can shoot, you can stop, you can keep on, you shoot again, and then this time you don't stop and you hit them, and then you do Flame Mirror, and then you do Flame Fist, whatever like that. Yeah, sure, you can do all that stuff, but it's still you have to get to that point. Now this Ace, when you're actually playing this Ace, you're less inclined to actually just go straight Flame Fist because you just I want to do the 100% combo and stuff like that. And it doesn't work that way. Flame Fist is the main source of damage. It can be Logi. So you're going to be with Logi type character, shut Ace straight down. Boa Hancock. She's a technical based character, 2500, and she is a damage character. Now she's going to be a little bit quicker than the other people that we have to offer here. Her main strengths is that she has Conqueror's Haki, which allows her to pick up characters and combos, extend her combos, do good amounts of damage, get rid of projectiles, all that sort of beautiful stuff with Conqueror's Haki. And she has the Petrification. The Petrification is good because in a certain amount of special moves, she can turn you into stone. She can also do this with her Flash Guard as well and turn you straight to stone. While you're in that state, you can't defend, you can't do nothing, and she can beat the crap out of you as easy as 1, 2, 3. Her third strength, as I mentioned before already, is a high damage output. Boa Hancock can deal a lot of damage. She can deal a 100% combo if she manages to hit you in the wall with +1 when she can go straight into her ability. She can do her ultimate in combo similar to Luffy 3K, as well as literally every single other Conqueror's Haki character in the game. The main weaknesses is that she has a weakness for Petrification. Now, Petrification is a strength, but it's also a weakness. Now, because she turns you into stone, she also reduces the amount of damage you take, which means all those heavy combos that you can do is not going to be done with that character. So generally what some people do is what I do. I usually have a character with a, not like a command grab, but like an unblockable. Like you have Burgies, Shanks, Blackbeard, and just like time it where they get unpetrified and use it. Except Burgies. Burgies can just do it straight up. Like he literally can grab you out of stone, which I don't really see people doing, but then again, who plays as Burgies? Weaknesses. Another weakness. Execution heavy. Similar to Shanks, she has to hit her combos. You can't drop them. You will be punished severely. She is not the type of character that you want to drop nothing with. She is a terrible basic starter, or has a terrible basic starter. Her basic attack starts off with her doing triple kick. The reason this is not a good move is because once she presses the attack button, she does 3 kicks. Okay, that is not a double press, that is 1 press, which means she is open for the rest. So if you miss the triple kick, most characters you can attack and then you can kind of like sidestep, back, make up for it. But hers, no, you gotta wait till those kicks are done. And it's not fast. I mean, the kicks are fast, but the actual like her getting ready is not fast. So most of the time, what I see for Boa Hancock players, and this is kind of funny because I've noticed it a lot when I watch spectate and I also go up against Boa Hancock, is that they will hardly ever start a combo with their basic. You may see it every once in a while. Maybe once in the first of 5, you may see it once. but you will not see it, the majority. It's just not reliable enough. Okay, next character we got here is Mihawk. He is an all-around character, 3,000 points, Rushdown based character. Now, the thing about Mihawk is that he has a very fast combo starter. He has this reach around, is arguably the best in the game. Reach around. In case you don't know what that means, that's the term I use for characters that can just go like zoom zoom or zigzag. Doesn't make any sense. I'll explain a little bit later. Okay, I'll explain now. Basically, it's a special movement. He can go back, go forward, basically get you in the back easily. Like other reach arounds examples would be Enel, Luffy 3K. He has a great passive that no one probably really uses and probably doesn't even know about. His passive allows him to just basically, if how can I put this? When you're holding down your ability, you deal chip damage, okay, which becomes green health. Mihawk does not. He does not leave green health when he chips you. He will do damage if he does for his basic attack, which means that if a character takes a whole bunch of damage from chip damage, like, you know, from people like Frankie, Nuka Robin, yada yada yada, all Mihawk has to do is go up there and hit them one time with a ability imbued basic attack, and all that chip damage becomes damage. And that's probably not why he's meta. He's probably meta because of his fast combo starter and how easy it is for him to get hits. But I don't think people really kind of react towards his great passes because chip damage doesn't generally show up as much. Weaknesses. Most of his moves are actually kind of slow despite having a fast combo starter. He is very punishable on majority of his moves because after he does them, they're really fast, but he kind of takes his beautiful sweet time to pull his freaking sword back for everything. He has no big damage. Or in most cases, I could say he has no burst damage. His combo game revolves around him tricking his opponent, or his damage game revolves around tricking his opponent. His burst damage is very little. He doesn't have any. His main source of damage is his L1, but it's a special unique, which allows him to basically get really good hits on the opponent. It's really fast because it's like, I believe it's a leap. I forgot the name of his abilities because it's like a whole sentence, so you know I can't really tell you right off the bat. I can tell you that his ultimate is godlike. You manage to actually get into his awakening. If you actually go into his basic attack and go to his ultimate, you're dealing a ton of damage. You'll be surprised at how much damage you deal with this character. Now, Garp being part of the meta is actually no surprise. He's a power type character, 2500, and it's damage. Now, first, before we get into Garp's strengths and weaknesses, we want to talk about. I was really surprised when this character came out. Okay? And when I mean surprised, I was surprised of how he was built. Most power characters are hard hitters, deal quite a bit of damage with little effort. You know, like Burgess' grab and JoJo's Diamond Fist and Kid's like giant cannon, whatever thing. But Garp has to work for it. One of his strengths is that he's a very good solo pressure character, and he's very good going up against the hit. That special movement makes it worthwhile for him to pressure people. He has the cannonball, the meteor fist that easily catch people in the air, makes them fall down. He has the ability that allows him to get a +2 power buff. And then what else is a good pressuring tool? He has the ability to actually drain your ability gauge with his unique buttons. If you actually get hit by those. So the whole time you get hit by a Garp combo, you're losing that ability. So if you're like playing as a Loki-based character, you're basically screwed. Once you get hit by Garp, you are screwed. You better try your best to flash counter early on. His second strength is his Fist of Love. Yes, I know that it's one move. No, it does do a lot of damage, but it is amazing. Fist of Love is a unity chain starter. It has a very weird hitbox if it actually whiffs. It is an easy command grab. It's one of the few command grabs in the game. It is probably the best. Once you get hit by the Fist of Love, you lose your ability if you're a Delphoid character, which is a weird side effect to getting hit by the Fist of Love, huh? His special movement is very good. I only put good, but I meant to say very good. Special movement allows him to do like a what do you call it? Hopscotch? Yeah, hopscotch. Which, if he does hit you, he will knock you up. If you get hit, every time he hits you and repeatedly motion with the special movement, you get knocked up quicker. After the third one you hit a first time, of course, the character is going to automatically fall. That's too many hits. So the thing about special movement that makes it really good is that he can actually skip through projectiles. He can pretty much beat every jump attack with this. And if he does actually hit another person who jump, it'll be considered an offset. His weaknesses, though, he's very execution heavy, just like Boa Hancock and Shanks. He has low damaging specials, and he has no burst damage moves, which means he relies solely on using combos to fight with. And having a low damaging specials means that he needs to actually combo with his specials and basically kind of open up his opponent with his special moves. The sheer fact that Garp is even on your team will actually scare a lot of people, and most of the time when you see Garp as a meta character, they're usually people who play as him as a pocket, per se. Everybody has a pocket Garp in this game. I don't care who you are. If you play competitively against other players, you have a pocket Garp. You play this Garp, you know how to do his combos. If you say that you don't, you're a liar. Okay, next up, and I think this may be the last character, I don't know, I can't count to 7, is Luffy 3K. Now, Luffy 3K is the nickname me and my friends gave him because he's 300 points, and the other Luffy is 500. He's a speed type character, he is a damage output character, and now some strengths. Now, this is weird. I was told this, and I was like, I don't really know why, but for some reason, Luffy 3K's Giant Awakening is known as the best in the game. I don't understand, I don't get it, but whatever. His Giant Awakening allows him to deal quite a bit of damage from what I say. He can still use Conqueror's Haki. Okay, never mind, I'm starting to get it now. He can... It's a pretty godlike Giant Awakening. Not to mention that when he goes into it, he can actually combo with his Awakening, unlike other giant characters in the game. No other giant character can combo with their moveset except this Gear 4 Luffy, which is a Giant Awakening name. His other strength is that he has a lot of Haki imbued moves. So all Luffy's specials have Haki. Luffy's Down Unique has Haki. Luffy's... what else has Haki? Pretty much it. But yeah, he has a lot of Haki imbued moves, so if he wants to end a combo or just like kind of, you know, let me do a specific Haki specific combo, which is all Haki moves, he can do it. Lose Conqueror's Haki, it doesn't matter. I'll just use my Down Unique. I'm not to worry about it. When Luffy is doing combos, he's hardly ever doing his basic. He does not use his basic to do combos mainly of time. He's mainly coming in with a Unity Chain. So he does require a lot of time to actually like build up his power. You can't just straightforward with Luffy, you have to wait a little bit. He has a high damage output as mentioned before. Luffy is always attacking with that Unity Chain if you're coming in. That Red Hawk is very powerful source for him to actually use. And Conqueror's Haki makes it godlike. Now, Conqueror's Haki is not even the reason he is actually meta. It is mainly, well, I guess it is because you have to have Conqueror's Haki to deal his high damage output to begin with. One of his weaknesses, or 3 of his weaknesses, because we're naming them all in order, is it's hard to get in. In my opinion, Luffy has always been a difficult character, or Luffy 3K has been a difficult character to actually get into his opponent. It's mainly because people look out for his special movements, so they'll be super alert. But other than that, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, if you're going to try to get in with Luffy 3K, you have to be good. And I've seen some really good Luffy 3Ks like have trouble getting in, but I've also seen some really good ones, you know, doing an amazing job at it. Like special movement, ranges. Like somebody got behind me at one point. I gotta talk about this, but someone did a special movement behind me, and in my first instinct, I was like, oh, all I gotta do is backstep. I backstep, got hit by the range attack. That got comboed. That was amazing. It was godlike, probably. Low damaging specials, despite what he looks like, Luffy 3K has low damaging special damage. Difficult under pressure, because Luffy takes a while to actually load up most of his attacks. He has a very difficult time fighting under pressure, which means he fights against someone like Garp. He will get his... he will get destroyed. Okay. Now, what kills the meta and why isn't it done? So the thing about what the misconception people have is when they go up against the meta, they feel as if they have to play as the meta to go up against the meta. That was confusing. And that's not exactly true. And why isn't it done? As I just mentioned it, it's because they feel like they have to fight against the meta with the meta. Now the thing about the meta is that I believe that some of the characters actually, or some of the people come in playing Burning Blood without the meta, and that's going to change it. Once that actually occurs, or actually as it's slowly occurring, they're going to learn eventually that, oh yeah, we can't do this. But you're not going to get rid of meta in this game. It's not going to be eliminated. It's going to be shifted. You're going to start looking at counter picks and stuff for the characters. And I'm over here talking about this game that it just came out. People are already doing this. People are already looking for counter picks. People already have who they're going to play with, and they don't care, and that's fine. I love seeing specialists. Now, the next up in my video series is going to be unconventional character picks. Characters that I witness in high-level play that are not often used. These characters I'm about to name are characters that I'm going to talk about in the next video, and these character picks are beautiful. These character picks are brought to you by people that I've actually played against, even some of myself, some of my friends, some are from 006, some are from my other first to 10, but usually it's on my first 10 videos. Next video, we're going to talk about Doflamingo, Usopp, Toshiro, Crocodile, Sanji, and Enel as 6 unconventional picks that occurred in high-level play that, honestly speaking, I was just like, wow, this is actually working. This is straight working. The meta cannot stand a chance against these people in this situation. Not because it probably wasn't because of the character, it's probably because of the player who was playing as that character. Some of these characters you have to play outside the box. Okay, you got to play outside the box to do good. And I'm going to talk about that in the next video, how these characters destroyed the meta in those matches that I will not be showing you. I'll just be talking about like I have right now. And we'll just go over it. So, see you next time. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, just keep playing One Piece Burning Blood. If you want to participate in first 10 events, be sure to leave a comment or message me, even befriend me, and I will be sure to talk to you about it, or you can talk to me, and we can have an awesome time next time we have a tournament.